What is your primary aim? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. We like to talk about business concepts, but what are business concepts but people concepts? So we talk a lot about human life and psychology and everything else. And I try to tie it back into business because I'm a business investor, always looking for new people to work with. If you're looking for an investor, if you're looking for help in your business, please go look me up. I'd recommend checking out my book first. It'll kind of give you an idea of my philosophy and where I'm coming from. It's called 9 Ways to Amazon Proof Your Business. You can get yourself a free digital copy at amazonproofbook.com. I'd like to welcome you back. For those of you who are returning, you may notice a little bit of difference, a little different look today. I've got a brand new phone on which I'm recording these, and so I think we're coming out through in 4K. At least we're recording it in that. And so if you're listening, you may not notice a difference, but if you're viewing it, you're probably noticing that it's a little brighter and probably a little clearer. Why am I bringing up primary aim? Primary aim was a concept. It's a term that was mentioned in this book, E-Myth Revisited. I'd like to thank my new friend Joel Daniels, for the post the other day he had on LinkedIn discussing chapter 12, which is all about the primary aim. You see how yellow these pages are? This is an old book. I've got this old copy. And I love what he says about this because this is very similar to what we were talking about before about having dreams and so forth, having things that you're looking forward to. This book, The Dream Manager, we talked about that a couple episodes ago, and this is the same concept. It's only talking about it a slightly different way. And I love just the first few paragraphs. Actually, the first few pages of this are great, but I'll read you a couple of the paragraphs from this from the first part of this chapter. He says, "I doubt that by now you'd be surprised to find out that I don't believe your business to be the first order of business on our agenda. You are. Nor will you be surprised to hear that I don't believe your business is your life, though it does and can play a significant, important role in your life. Your primary aim is I jumped ahead. But before you can determine what the role will be, you must ask yourself these questions. What do I value the most? What kind of life do I want? What do I want my life to look like, to feel like? Who do I wish to be?" Your primary aim is the answer to all these questions. And that he goes on and talks about different questions you can ask yourself and different ways that you can identify what your primary aim is. What's a primary aim? It's just the idea of where you're headed. Most people, and he discusses this in this chapter, most people don't have a conscious idea of where they're headed. And even though they may have something down deep, they're not conscious about it. They're not thinking about it. They're not putting it out in front of themselves. And so when we do that, we tend to gear ourselves toward pleasure and away from pain. We take the animal route, okay? And we tend to just go where whatever feels good, as opposed to doing what we think is the right direction and things that'll make a difference in our life and in the world and everything else. And obviously a person could have the wrong primary aim. They could go in the wrong direction. But how worse off are they than if they're just kind of floating along without any concept of where they're going? Not that there isn't time in life for that, right? There's periods of time where you don't necessarily need to know where you're going, where you got to find that path. But if you're looking for it, that's an aim in and of itself. If you're looking to see where you want to be going rather than just existing. Because I think there's a whole lot of people out there just existing that, I don't know, I think their life might be a little better for themselves. I think they'd enjoy life a whole lot better if they went beyond existence. So I love that. I love that concept. It's important in business. It's important for you to have. And if you're a business owner, if you're out there doing stuff, you probably already kind of have a concept of this. And it's the reason why you've gone in this direction. It's the odd direction to go in anyways. But a lot of your employees, a lot of possible business partners, vendors, other people that you work with in business may not have a concept of the same path. How do you know? And why would you want to encourage them to do it? Because if you've got people around you that are all trying to make themselves better, won't that make things better for you? Won't you be able to relate with them better and everything else? I think you would. And if you really want to see life get better for people, I'd recommend it to them. Now it's kind of tough to bring up, but here's how you talk about it. Ask people questions. What are you doing? Where are you going with life? What's new? Why are you doing that? You know, where are you headed? What's been happening? What's been your focus lately? You dropped out of college. Now what? Where are you going next? Where do you see yourself in the next 5 to 10 years? You know, those type of questions in just everyday normal conversation. I think you'll be surprised what you hear back from people. Just a quick tip for tonight. Thanks again, Joel, for the idea. It's really one of those things that isn't discussed enough. And that's all I have for tonight. You come back tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.